Welcome back to some professional StarCraft, to a best of 5 Terran versus Protoss between two players who have returned from their obligatory military service. One of them has made some big splashes lately, and the other, well, we're still waiting. Let me first introduce in the bottom left. Hopefully, well, he is probe scouting, but maybe not far enough. It's herO, known for his capability of taking down the best of the best, especially in Protoss versus Xur. His opponent, GuMiho. No, we don't have a special card for him. Jimmy's been lazy, and also GuMiho, honestly, has been struggling lately. He'll take some games off. He'll come up with a new style, a new way to play certain matchups, and then arguably better players will kind of just dismantle it. Whether it's Mech and TVZ or Mech and TV. Okay, it's a lot of Mech. But in this case, it's a Marauder proxy. And by the way, welcome to the Winter Chillcast. Yes, I was trying to come up with a clever name for it. That's our running title. My voice has not been amazing lately. I've just had so much passion and excitement, and I don't want to lose that. So I'm kind of taking it easy. But I still want to cast games, even if we don't have the DreamHack replays from Valencia yet. I want to show good games for the fans. So, the idea with this, like and subscribe, give some feedback, is we're kind of chilling. We're going to get excited when it's appropriate. But instead of casting, it's more like commentary. Don't let the name fool you. So, hopefully you still enjoy, and hopefully you don't mind too much. Or maybe you like it more, in which case, like it. You're allowed to like it just the same amount and maybe a little more because it's different. That's the appropriate amount to... You can't like it any more than that. You can like the video, you can like it exactly the same amount, but you don't want to you don't want to make me feel uncomfortable. You can't see my face right now because that was like part of the whole deal. But believe me, I look concerned and a little unhappy. But I am happy to see something new coming up here. Surprise! I mean, get an idea of what this could be. But boom, Marauders right up in your grill. Usually this is just Reaper. Well, herO definitely didn't expect this. He walled off the low ground. GuMiho, I mean, I think he got kind of lucky. Oh, the wall with the bunker as well. A little bit disgusting. Okay, I take it back. It's a lot of bit disgusting. I spent so long explaining what we're doing here today that I didn't explain. Well, the game might be over by the time we really finish that thought. Well, herO has the probe. He's getting an Oracle here. The Marauder count is pretty damn high, though. A medevac on the way. The probe is still alive on the other side of the map. And backing off before the Oracle. I don't think he started the Oracle. He didn't turn it on and use that 25 energy. Instead, conserving it for now. Hard wall, which, I mean, quite a commitment, but probably an appropriate one at this stage. Now we got medevac with 4 Marauders. Thing is, GuMiho, and herO knows this as well, GuMiho didn't really have anything else. So, it was just this attack. Still, we got 2 more gateways. Goes for the shield better because the shield better can reshield the pylon. Oracle comes back, but the medevac can be used to dodge here. Yeah, doing a lot of damage to the pylon, targeting it. GuMiho, yeah, this is one of the most awkward engagements I've ever seen. Up there with, like, landed Vikings being microed against Phoenixes. The Marauders dropped... It's really an energy bar duel. The fact that he's losing any of these Marauders is kind of unnecessary. I guess he doesn't want to let another Oracle come out. The first Oracle runs out of energy. Another Oracle shows up. 12 probes have died. The natural, there's a Viking. That probably would have been useful, but we were busy doing some whatever the hell this is micro. The Stalker warps and dies immediately. Cyclone shows up, knocks down an Oracle, and I think that's that. The probe on the other... okay, oh, don't try this at home. I'm not sure which side of it you shouldn't try. Probably the entire thing. The Marauders breaking the knees of the Stalkers, which are far too little and far too late. You really need a wall off or a shield battery or something earlier on. Adepts just don't cut it. herO at this point, like, okay, he's still in the game. He's getting a shield battery. There's only 16 probes left. All right. Okay, it's okay to tap out. Yeah, I would be a little annoyed at this build too. GuMiho's micro is not nearly perfect here either. So GuMiho is kind of maximizing the damage these units out of herO are doing. He's done some decent pickups with the Marauders, but overall, I mean, you're dead. He's dead. He's super dead. I mean, he could still come back with some good... No, he's super dead. Not entirely sure why herO... Okay. Maybe if he warps in one more Stalker, though. Oh yeah, the Phoenix still exists. And... there it is. Okay. An interesting game. As you can see, the look on my face is confused. You might be confused as well, but... thank you for the solidarity. GuMiho got... that's a solid cheese. That's a solid cheese. Okay. A good old-fashioned proxy barracks marauder concussive shell. It does rely on a lot of, like, herO walled off on the low ground. He went for an adept. He probe scouted but didn't find it, which added to the likelihood it was going to be a Reaper. Oh, no. Sorry, Jimmy. It didn't go to the script. GuMiho won. Yeah, GuMiho. Not sending out an SCV this time around. A bold move. But I think against herO, like, herO is well-versed in the longer series as well. A lot of Protoss have kind of fade out after a game or two. The deck builder Protoss, the ones who are we going to throw under the bus this time? Your creators. Well, okay, I can't. My first choice was a bad choice. Though Creator is all over the place. Creator, he's not Zest. No one is Zest. We're going to miss Zest as he's now taking his obligatory. He's finally not retired, but has his obligatory South Korean military service. So no Zest for a year and a half, 2 years. Though he does say he'd like to return, assuming there's something to return to, which is pragmatic and, I mean, something to look forward to for many reasons, hopefully. What was I getting to, though? herO comes with 2 or 3 different builds to every matchup. Yeah, he has his PvZ style he's been really leaning on, but there are different details in how he goes about it. Whether we start with a Stargate, straight to a Twilight. What the hell is that, GuMiho? Okay, he's GuMiho continuing his trend of coming up with it as he goes along. Now, I'm sure this is well figured out, but he builds the barracks back. The probe, of course, scouts it, but then he builds the command center. I guess he's preempting any sort of probe shenanigans, adepts, all these, like there's no end to the list of annoying things that Protoss can do. Well, Protoss and Terran. It's really about who can poke the other one in the back when they're not looking, or anywhere else that's particularly annoying. I'll leave that up to imagination. But between Reapers and Oracles, Hellions, Widowmines, even the Adept Shades early on, Blink Stalkers, there's a lot of things that can get in annoying places. In fact, that's most of what the matchup revolves around in the first 5 or 6 minutes. So I'm interested to see how GuMiho decides to, probably not circumvent, but handle that. And it looks like he's doing it in his own way here with the command center. Twilight Council. We're going straight there, as I mentioned. The Twilight Council, the ambiguous choice, where, well, 90% of the time it's blank in Protoss versus Terran. Against Zerg, or no, against Protoss is like 95% of the time. but maybe also DTs. It's only against Zerg where there's like some sort of doubt about whether or not it's going to be Blink or Charge or Glaives or DTs or all of the above, especially with herO. Like, Winter, would you just rather be watching a herO PvZ? No, we can't just cast herO in PvZ. We got to see, like, StarCraft is about playing all 3 matchups, or if you're Reynor, 6 matchups, and being able to compete in all of them, because you are bound to run into each one, depending on the tournament. This is from the Alpha X Into the Clan Brawlers Club. So, I believe also in the group were Zest and Byun, were the other 2. Yeah, this is a little bit before Zest retired. So, I guess no Protoss versus Zerg. It really depends. I've just described StarCraft. There are 3 races, okay? Sometimes people play one, sometimes people play the other, and sometimes people who want to win play Zerg. And that's what they do. And that's how it is, okay? It's alright, I can say that. I'm a random player. Well, Reaper comes in. Widowmine drop, though. Gonna make things a little more difficult. Oh. Oh, it's one of those. He gets 8 kills. Widowmine reaches out and grabs... Well, I think that one got 6 probes, even as they ran away. That's a tough one for herO. And it does give away... The thing is, he went for the defensive blink. This was... I'm going to be able to deal with any early aggression and come out ahead. He didn't go for a 3rd Nexus. He invested heavily in gateway units and tech, but unfortunately, GuMiho gets some economic damage. Technically, the medevac's still alive. herO with some concerning blinks. Obviously, the blink stalkers were revealed, so GuMiho is prepared. He has well-positioned tanks that are very unlikely to be hit by a single blink from the stalkers. They're going to have to walk into range and eat some hits. Well, looks like herO going to blink into the main. The edge of the main not fully protected. The stim pack research is vulnerable, but still kind of a concerning position. herO doesn't want to overstay his welcome. As the tanks close in, that one barely out of range. herO has the vision via the observer. The medevac escaped.
What a save!
What a play. Gets out of there. And, oh, GuMiho loads up another drop. Revolving door. A bit awkward. Well, this is almost reminiscent of a Heart of the Swarm TVP, where we have both players kind of sitting on 2 bases, building up to a Colossus or a tank push, just waiting for the boys to be pulled. But since it is Legacy of the Void, and it has been for most of StarCraft 2's history at this point, as we go on the 12th year, 7 of those years have been Legacy of the Void. I feel old already. Over here like, oh, my voice, it's so... no, actually, it's not great. We gotta chill. Let's not do a voice about the voice in order to damage the voice. Alright, we don't want to go full husky quite yet. We don't have that fallback. Well, 2 stalkers down, gets a shield better, and then finds a Colossus. Wait, a sentry? Oh, a nice consolation, though. Meanwhile, the stalkers... Wow, 5 tanks from GuMiho. What a play. That is a beautiful push right there. And that Colossus is looking... No scouting with the Colossus. We've all done it. We all regret it every time. It's one of those, like, you really... it's an amateur mistake even the pros make. Now this is an interesting position here. The tanks will siege. Oh, and they'll obliterate the sentries to kick things off. A single marine drop, and just like that, herO. hero's not looking so great. herO is struggling. He lost so many probes early. He felt obligated to try to get some damage done. He had already delayed the 3rd. GuMiho, on the other hand, has taken... He's lost 3 SCVs. Just a couple at the front and I think the scout, maybe? Something like that. So GuMiho is about as well off as you can be as a Terran player at this stage. Did he not? He didn't lose any tanks. A lot of them, the paint was scratched. Might need a tune-up back at the shop. But overall, will soon be as good as new. Another drop gets out, escaping the clutches of the stalkers. Scouting Ruptors. An interesting choice. He's really banking on seeing the army beforehand. Disruptors, he just doesn't stop with the tanks. He loves the tanks. I mean, can you blame him? I think siege tanks are probably the coolest Terran unit, or maybe even StarCraft 2 unit. I don't know if I'll commit to that, but they are the coolest Terran unit. In fact, my proposal is they should get a slight buff. And the Ghost maybe should get, you know, another look. Even if only Maru can use them. Either way, I love siege tanks. But the Disruptors in the middle of the field fires off a volley. Gets like 3 units. GuMiho is not a player who forgets concussive shells until the game is already essentially over. That is another staple of Terran. Charge lot drop flies right over a well-placed missile turret. That tank push, though. Oh my god. 8 tanks. The Octo tank push. Quite. Colossus don't, like, right now, herO is not respecting the tank count. He should have respected it after there were 5 tanks. Then he built Disruptors, which do not really counter tanks. They can kind of hit them. Immortals. The answer was Immortals. Does he have charge? Yes. 1-1, yes. But the army supply, GuMiho, just waiting for herO to come to him. A few charge lots at the back. There's plenty of bio to reinforce. The scan, nothing he needs to be afraid of here. GuMiho steps a little. He's smelling some blood in the water. Gets one of the shield batteries. He's got upgrades on the way as well. GuMiho's ahead on workers. herO is just kind of getting checkmated here. The tanks. Yep, they're in range. The last shield battery, a bio army on the right flank. At some point, you gotta go. herO is... Well, he gets 1 Marine. Double drop into the main. He's tearing him apart. The charge lot's trying to come in from the side. There are no more shield batteries for overcharge. Disruptors wandering in, but the tank push is way too well... The reinforcement showing up. Remember, the double drop of the main is still going. And GuMiho. Looking quite... At no point, I don't know. herO just not looking up to par here. He's made some basic mistakes. And GuMiho has not slipped up. His tank production has been incessant. His micro has been acceptable. And overall... his army has been overwhelming. Yeah, I gave up on that alliteration. Just like herO gave up his 3rd. The Disruptor's still trying to bite off the scraps, but GuMiho's been aware of them since essentially they came out. A desperate counterattack. GuMiho's got 2-2. The boys are pulled. A little late. The bio army reinforcing. GuMiho trying to flank on the back. Will lose 13 SCVs, but he can afford to lose them for command centers. The tanks will siege. A Disruptor fires a shot, but the tanks are already spread. Goes down immediately. Colossi knocked down. herO's evened up the supply somewhat. The upgrades are the real story here. Honestly, GuMiho struggling a little more than I thought he would. With all that, he didn't really have the tanks sieged in position. Another army. The Blink Stalkers. Most of the tanks unsieged. Disruptors wandering in. These Disruptors kill Zealots in a sensor tower. So herO, he gets out with most of his important units. Though, awkwardly, a planetary... The mules will drop as the pylon has been spotted. Will likely be evicted soon. Another round of charge lots. herO afraid to let GuMiho move out because that's a lot of tanks to have on your side of the map, but the disruptors are targeted down. The Vikings knock over the Colossi. And, well, GuMiho with another one. Not exactly how... Well, I did not... Honestly, I expected herO to kind of walk away with this series. I thought GuMiho might get a cheeky game. Might have some solid mid-game or something. But no. He's just straight up beating herO right now. He's kind of floundering in Protoss versus Terran. And these are not particularly... Game 1 was a good, solid, good old-fashioned cheese. But that game 2, Widowmine drop into tank push, is not out of the ordinary. It defines the ordinary. So, herO struggling with that is not a good sign for the rest of this series, which could just consist of a single game if this keeps up. SCV on the way across, gonna look at very early, which, you know, has some implications. Yeah. Well, that looks like a Reaper proxy. He hasn't really left space for a tech lab. Does the pylon... Yeah. This is mapped out by GuMiho. There's no way he's going to place that close enough a pylon can spot it. It is about as close as you can get without the pylon spotting it, but... What is this? We're looking like we have the amazing mini-map cameras where we can see where the players are looking as well. Does help me observing, as you can kind of get a glimpse of where the players are focusing. That's probably where the action's going to be. I can put that math together. Zealot on the way, but I think you can bounce the Reaper in on that corner. I'm not 100%, because it's not like a hard wall off. We're just gonna proxy each other. Okay. All right then. This is what we're doing. This is how this is going. So that's a proxy Stargate against a proxy Reaper. I mean, I'm assuming it's going to be a Stargate. I think that's a pretty safe bet. The Zealot is out of position. Adept on the way. Stargate in production. And the Reaper's just going to head around, try to take the safe path. There's no expansion. GuMiho scouted the double gas. herO didn't scout anything, but honestly, the Reaper timing should give this away a little. Oh my god. Citizens arrest! We don't like your kind around here. He just, well, not Byun.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Okay, well that, on a list of things to do with your proxy Reaper or not do, I don't know which list you want to make. But on the list of things to not do with your first proxy Reaper is lose them to probes. Alright, professional tip. I got that one straight out of Twitch chat. But here we are. The Oracle has been spotted. The Reaper is attacking the pylon. Now, the Oracle will come out. The Adept will protect the pylon. You don't want to use the energy. There will be a Cyclone. Cyclone has to be a little careful of the lock-ons. The Reaper can jump to the high ground. I'm describing a lot of obvious things, but... Oh, GuMiho. GuMiho! No! Gumi, no! Wait, okay. So the Oracle comes in. Good lock. GuMiho. But he blocks himself with his own command center. Already quite an awkward engagement. Uses the lock-on. The Adept will shade back into the main, but will die to the Cyclone. So I think that's a win. The barracks is floated all the way home now. And here we are. That's all I have to say about that. We got 2 Cyclones, a Viking, another incredibly technical and mildly confusing game, as herO is building out of his proxy Stargate the units to counter the multiple Cyclones. Phoenix can break the locks. Oracles are pretty good if they don't get locked onto. They can actually just beat the Cyclone. Of course, closing the distance is the hard part. Oh, Stalker coming out. It's only a second gate. herO at 30 probes to the 28 SCVs of GuMiho. So, honestly, not great for herO. You do not want to be even with someone who has mules. Because mules, well, they give you about the equivalent of 5 SCVs extra mining. Give or take. It fluctuates. But, so right now, effectively, GuMiho is sitting at, how many mules he got? He got 2 mules. So, like 42 workers against 34. Well, the lock-ons picks up 2. The Adept eating the others. Vikings attacking. Okay. Cyclone, Vikings, Phoenixes. herO loses that really badly. Okay. It wasn't very clear for a moment to anyone what was going on, but a tank pops out. Kind of irrelevant. 2 Vikings, more than enough to drive back the Oracles. Yeah, Cyclones died, but at the end of the day, losing any air control for herO means the ground army at some point is going to be too scary and can just walk across the map. Oh, nice. I love the turret placement from GuMiho. We saw this in Game 1 as well. Ended up just killing a Warp Prism. Phoenix is looking for more opportunities. Twilight Council behind. Blink is still probably the choice, but does he risk it? Alright, charge it is. Ah, Star Charge. Phoenix Charge Lot. So, a lot of the effectiveness of this strategy depends on your opponent not seeing it until it's too late. It depends on your opponent essentially like building tanks or not really realizing and not building any Liberators or Ghosts. Unfortunately, I think the Phoenixes have already baited out the Widowmines. So GuMiho, the Widowmines are great at killing large groups of Charge Lots, Phoenixes, or, if it becomes relevant, Marines, as they can drag those Widowmine shots over the top of them. So, Widowmines versus Marines is a surprisingly common part of the matchup. Another thing, because of these Vikings, delayed medevacs. The Phoenix is looking for an opportunity. The Widowmines will burrow, denying any chance of lifting them. GuMiho's taking his sweet time moving out here. And won't even have all the Widowmines with him when he does. Just kind of abandoning those Marines to the Phoenixes. But right now, even though there is charge, there's only 7, well, a few more charge lots warped in, but Phoenix is trying to be produced. herO, hard supply blocked. 84 out of 85 right now. Building 4 pylons, so pretty big mistake on that point. Or the Widowmine will be able to burrow. The Phoenixes will pick them off, and there's enough charge lots. Well, this is an awkward exchange yet again. The Phoenixes are chasing. GuMiho a little ambitious with this. He's going to lose a full medevac. And another one is being chased. Yeah, the units can drop out, but a medevac does die. So GuMiho overextending heavily here. Ah. But Widowmines in the main. It looks like... Oh, and at the natural. It looks like herO responded to this a lot quicker than I did. And that Widowmine is picked up. Negating the damage. The issue here is with the Star Charge. He didn't build a robo. Oh no! Not like this. Come on, herO. Oh, this is a rough one. Well, he gambled that he wouldn't need it. GuMiho went for the quick, well, relatively quick armory. He's on a timer. But GuMiho realizes if these Widowmines keep firing, why do I need to bother dealing with them? Like, just retreat behind your walls. He technically has a 3rd command center, though I think it just finished out. The Widowmines are just... They're adding on the damage. He didn't build a robo. He built an Oracle to try to deal with this. Which it will. There's one more shot at the natural I think we'll get before Revelation comes off cooldown. Oh, he timed that out so well, though. Oh yeah, well, Everyone? Hello? Okay. Just now getting a forge. herO, yeah, GuMiho didn't build much behind it. He did invest heavily in the tech, so he didn't have that much production. And losing those 2 medevacs was definitely an overextension. He didn't need to lose those 2. Ooh, the Widowmon's hiding on the ramp here. Revelation actually completely misses the mark. So it's actually going to be a very brute force Protoss army up against a more typical Terran. Though GuMiho, very key point, doesn't have ghosts or liberators. So while the bio and the mines are good, it's really the ghosts and liberators that make it so difficult for Protoss in the later game. Yeah, charge lots closing in. GuMiho just doesn't have that many units here, and some of them may just outright die to Widowmines. Has to pick up. GuMiho retreating with 2 medevacs full of units. herO on the mineral line, doing some economic damage. Observer here can see the mines. More going to be burrowed from the reinforcements. Manages to target them down with the 4 leftover zealots. herO is dipping a bit in the supply. He's making disruptors. Not going for the Colossi, just skipping to the Raptors here. And I think, unlike on Berlingrad, since tanks aren't in the mix, the disruptors are definitely a better option against the less than mobile Widowmines. Oh no! Unfortunately, some of the Widowmines still lurking. Knock out 2 Phoenixes. Soften up the rest. Don't let the Widowmine hit you on the way out. Down they go. No more anti-air. The one Widowmine's just kind of casually strolling into the 3rd. He target fires, gets 6 probes. Don't mind me. These Widowmines are adding up the damage. It's really... The best Widowmine is the Widowmine that no one's looking at on either side. The one just lurking. Truly living up to its name. The Disruptors wandering in. Some lazy hotkeys from herO here. And that means GuMiho, what looked originally to be a pretty weak and potentially fatal drop, ends up getting some valuable units and getting out, as Blink is not yet done. So herO has squandered his 2030 supply lead and now finds himself in a slight deficit. Has a nice amount of probes, but dealing with a much more cost-effective bio army, he needs the splash damage to make the difference. From the low ground, Marauders looking over the top. That Widowmine, yes, it can fire to the high ground, of course. The medevacs heading in. The Zealots will take the long road around, awkwardly walled off by their own units, a prison of their own design. Oh, no. A bit of a disaster here. The Zealot, now the Stalkers are in the way. I mean... And more... Oh, come on, guys. Meanwhile, a few charge lots in the 3rd, but... This has been... Oh my. Well... Wow. That could have gone better. It's like a bit of a Three Stooges situation. As the Zealots repeatedly try to close the distance and are repeatedly blocked by Protoss things. You ever had blue blades like that? Let me at him. No, sir. Please wait your turn. What do you mean? You just warped in. I've been here for 15 minutes. It's like, it's only been 13. I was chrono boosted. That's not how chrono boost works. Well, this bio army. A recall to the main. Trying to sandwich the bio. Gets... Okay, force fields on one side. Medevacs looking dicey. Just not even bothering to fire the disruptor shots. A bio army sniping next side like it's going out of style. Widow Mines eat into the Stalkers. herO scrambles back. No recall. Blink too late. Disruptors need to deal with those mines. Another drop headed out. It's drop o'clock in GuMiho's house. herO, on the other hand, wandering through the minefield into a base trade GuMiho's already preparing for. Oh no. All the production. Vulnerable. The main base. A warp prism into the main. GuMiho's up 40 army supply and 3 upgrades. Plus 3 attack. 22 probes down already. No SCVs yet. The command centers are lifted. Guardian shield to defend himself against those pesky SCVs. Everyone knows the reflexive Guardian shield. Down goes the third. Down goes the main. And very quickly, hero's just not going to have any bases. He has no supply. He's lost 50 probes. He has 0 probes. Fires a few disruptor shots. Gets the best hits of the series. But I think quickly going to realize, look back at his base. Let's go to the hero cam. He's being revealed, which is, you know, not a great sign. He looks for probes. He finds none. And at this stage, he literally cannot win the game anymore. herO can no longer win the match. I think GuMiho going to be intensely amused and also confused. Because it's like, did I kill every single probe? The thing is, oh no. Widowmine gets an immortal. I think he killed the armory, so the Widowmines are now revealed after firing, but... Oh my. A unceremonious... Nope. We said we weren't doing the face reveal today, Jimmy. Anyways. An unceremonious end. GuMiho just the clearly better player today. I don't know. herO struggling in TVP. I don't know if the proxy racks threw him off that hard, but... He's just straight up dead. Like, GuMiho crushed him. Not even particularly close. 3-0. What happened? Does GuMiho... I love his style, if a bit dated. But I do think it was at least equal parts herO losing as GuMiho winning this series. Interesting. But I hope you enjoyed watching. What do you think of the Chillcast? You made it this far, so can't be too horrible. But if you haven't yet, like, subscribe, leave some feedback. And what DreamHack Valencia match do you want to see cast first when we get a hold on those grubby replays? Not grubby. He doesn't play anymore. Those Reynor replays. A dark time. Moving on. Thank you. Check out these videos over here. And subscribe. Thank you for watching. Good luck. Have fun. Stay chill.